Okay, hi friends. So this is our last little segment for our women's series on Wonder Women of Faith, and I saved I think the most interesting for last because there's no story like hers. Mary, the mother of Jesus. So always her story just is, I think, just breathtaking. Um, when you work when you work with young people, and we know even in that time that even though she was a teenager, that she was an adult, this person, but I still she was young. She was young. She wasn't married yet. So I mean, this is even in that time she would have been considered a young person. And in Luke 1, of course, the angel comes to her and tells her that she is going to be the mother of the Messiah. I just don't know how you process that. I don't know how you process that information, especially at that age. And I think we see in Mary the character that got her chosen in her response. When the angel says, for God, nothing will be impossible. And her response to the angel was, behold, the maidservant of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word. Basically, your will be done. And something so life altering. I mean, this, you're looking at again in this time where Joseph had the right to, I mean, he could have killed her. He could have, he could have killed her for this. For her to have that kind of, I just feel calm, especially when you go on down through that. And the Song of Mary, which is one of my favorite passages in the Bible. And there's just a thankfulness there of, and a self-realization of what she was being asked. The other thing I think too, when I look at her, I think of the kind of person that God chose to be the mother of Jesus. And I think in a day, especially in this day and age, and I always feel so old when I start saying that. I feel like I'm going to start talking about walking a mile into the school in the snow or something. But seriously, in this day and age where it's all about influencers and followers and likes and social, media, and being as outrageous as you can be, that this is the complete opposite. When you look at Mary, it's the complete opposite of anything that we see today. That there was a humility, there was a grace, she was an ordinary girl. And this is the theme that we see that I could have picked a lot of women to write about in this series, because the Bible's full of them. The Bible is full of women that God used in such remarkable ways. And there wasn't anything extraordinary about any of them. They wouldn't be, as far as what man might see. Yes, some of them were probably had great beauty. Of course, you hear, we talked about Esther in the online group, and she was beautiful, but there was, for every Esther, there's all these just normal girls and normal women, and God just doing impossible, crazy things in their lives. Sarah having a baby at 100 or however old she was. I probably should have looked that up. But Sarah being an older woman and having a baby, and Deborah as a judge of Israel. Of course, we didn't even get into Mary Magdalene because I really wanted to talk about her. But man, 10 minutes is not even enough. 30 minutes is not even enough. I think I'm going to have to just do I think I'm gonna have to do a whole Bible study on her. I really think I want to investigate and do some research, and I think I'm probably gonna eventually write a whole Bible study on Mary Magdalene, because there's just so much. There was so much there, and but our Mary here, just a normal girl, and to be entrusted with the Savior of the whole humanity, of all the world, in this young girl, and her response with all that weight. That had to. I don't think it was something that she took lightly. I don't think she was flippant about it. And if you think I can do it, I'll do it. And I feel like that's got to start being the response of our hearts when God asks us to do things. You know, God doesn't ask us to do little bitty things all the time. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. I mean, that's just your walk. That's your basic walk, And I say little bitty, and he actually tells you to lay down your life every day. Paul said, to do that. So, but that we have such purpose, and there's so many talents that we're given, and so many things that we could do, and we are just too scared to do them. And when I wrote this study, I was in that place. I was struggling with this writing thing and this speaking thing and this doing these online things, because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel qualified. I didn't, my sweet Bible study group, I kept on saying, I don't look like a Bible study teacher. I don't talk like a Bible study teacher. I don't act like a Bible study teacher. I'm a little feisty and a little blunt, and I mean, my appearance, I'm overweight. And it's gotten worse since I've gotten sick, and there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. I need, and we're working on it. But I've my self-esteem has taken some hits, and when all this happened, I was like, Lord, I don't want to write for women. I teach kids. That's what I do. I teach teenagers, and I work with teenagers, and that's what I do. And I don't work with women, because they intimidate me. I don't know why. And there's a lot of other Bible teachers out there, and there's a lot of other people that do this that are going to do this a lot better, and they're probably going to be a lot more comfortable in front of a camera, and they're probably going to feel a lot better about how their appearance is, and they're going to feel a lot, and and then I started doing this study, and God just doesn't, it goes back to the Mary and Martha thing. He wants that best part, and so for me, it was when I got sick, and some, I battle an autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and it has taken a lot from me, including my ability to walk normally. I have this awful limp. I kind of walk like Frankenstein. I think it looks like a little bit. And it's just, and I'm in pain all the time. And there's a possibility that this doesn't get better. We're 2 years into it in July, and there's not been a lot of hope. And there was a fear. There's still a possibility of ending up in a wheelchair. And I just, that just bothered me. And as I was, as the Lord was really working on me in a lot of things, especially, my self-esteem and confidence. And, I feel like he really said, are you gonna stop serving me if you do end up in a wheelchair? Or are you gonna keep on doing what I've told you to do? And, well, whether I'm in a wheelchair or not, or whether I'm sick or not, or whatever, I'm going to do what you've put before me. And, well, then quit letting anything else get in your way, including your self-esteem issues and your, some of your self-confidence stuff you've got going on. And so this isn't easy. This hasn't been easy. I've done a whole live series now that I've made 6. This is my 6th and last video right this second. But I've done that because the Lord has asked me to do that. And the Lord has opened the doors for me to do that. And so I challenge you this week, don't let anything hold you back from doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because there's a world out there that needs what you're called to do. And whether that's work with kids, or whether that's sing, or whether that's just be that bright light in a dark room, don't let anything, don't let any kind of fear or you're not good enough attitude or any other excuse you might come up with stop you from doing what the Lord has called you to do. I hope you've enjoyed this very short series. Join us on our Facebook page. I'm not sure what's next. Just keep an eye out and we'll see what happens. Bye.